It's time for the Inside Success Show, an inspirational hour that searches for the simple secrets of success in real-life stories of people who have felt the pain of failure and have gone on to great achievement. Here's your hosts, Randy Gilbert and Dan Argero.
Hi, this is Randy Gilbert here. Welcome to the Inside Success Show. It's an action-packed hour with exciting guests who share their inside stories of real-life moments and humble beginnings, and more importantly for you, they give away powerful inside success secrets, tips, and strategies that you, our listeners, can use right away to bring success and abundance into your own lives. We all have obstacles that get in the way of our success, and the frustrating ones are those that are hidden inside our heads. And this evening, we are privileged to have an expert who will help us to get rid of them. And I'm here with Dan Argero, a co-host who loves to overcome his obstacles and be successful, and he will introduce and welcome our guests onto the show.
Thanks, Randy. Bob Choat is a highly sought-after stage hypnotist known as Bobby Spade. He is a certified hypnotherapist in Los Angeles, California, who specializes in motivational and NLP mind-body training and is a powerful business success coach. Bob writes in his spare time and is the author of the upcoming book, The Inspired Warrior. We are proud to have on our show today a real inside success expert, Mr. Bob Choat. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey, Bob, this is Randy Gilbert. We want to introduce the real person, the real Bob Choat behind the proverbial curtain.
Okay.
So if you could please tell us your inside story of how you started out. What were you like as a kid, maybe? Were you always interested in hypnotism and NLP or mind-body techniques? Tell us a little bit about your early life.
Well, actually, my early life was quite like a lot of people. I mean, I think we all go through certain stresses and everything, and the kind of challenges that one would have growing up, trying to make sense of the world and everything.
Sure.
And what I really wanted to do was, I had this goal of wanting really to help people. I mean, when I was young, I used to watch the old, the Superman shows.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I used to picture myself as Superman. So, I wanted to learn things, and so I studied martial arts and everything like that, starting when I was 5 years old. And then the hypnosis part, I actually picked up a book on hypnosis when I was about 7 years old, and I started reading it and started practicing it on myself.
Did you ever accomplish the flying thing?
Well, let me see. Other than spraining my ankle.
Yeah. My son did that, and he got 5 stitches in his chin.
Jumped off the roof.
So at the 7, you were already reading it? You were interested at that time?
Yes. I wanted to know about hypnosis. Like a lot of people, you see what it's on TV, and maybe at stage shows and everything, and
sure.
And that's one thing. I think a lot of people have misconceptions, as I did early on, until I found out what hypnosis is. Part of the misconceptions that people may have is that they may think that a hypnotist is there to control them. But the reality is all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Basically, the person is still in control. They're not doing anything unless they really want to do it.
Sure. They're basically putting their trust in someone else, maybe guiding?
Yes. That's all the hypnotist is basically a guide, in a sense.
Well, when did you really start practicing it? I mean, learning that kind of stuff, it couldn't have been just, reading a few books.
No.
Did you go to college for it or a special
Well, actually,
school?
I went through the only accredited school of hypnosis here in the Los Angeles area called Hypnosis Motivation Institute.
Okay.
And that's a year-long program.
Uh-huh. It's the only one in L.A. or in the U.S.?
Well, there are actually other programs that are pretty good. This is the only one that's, in a sense, accredited by the Department of Education.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
Yeah. And you did that after high school?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely after high school. I mean, It was after the Marines and after my stint with the LAPD. So.
Wow.
Well, tell us about that. You went to high school, and then after that, you went into the Marines, or did you go to college?
I went into the Marine Corps. You know, part of, when you mentioned earlier about the Inspired Warrior,
Sure.
Part of that program was developed through my own experiences. You know, not only through the martial arts, but also through being in the military.
Okay.
And then with the LAPD, and then through my businesses.
Okay. Well, did what you learned about hypnotism, did that help you in the Marines, even though you hadn't gone to formal training yet?
Yes, it did. I had been a lifelong stutterer, and having overcome that and being able to speak in front of groups of people, you know, not only in the military, but also beyond that.
Right.
I mean,
You were
was a
still
long struggle.
Were you still stuttering in the Marines?
Yes.
Well, that
No
must
kidding.
have been difficult.
Even with the LAPD a little bit, I stuttered.
Uh-huh.
And can you imagine, you know, having to arrest somebody and stuttering too? I mean, that's tough.
Yes, that is tough.
Wow.
I would definitely. How long were you on with the LAPD?
Just for about 3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
What made you change?
I've always been the kind of person that I like to do things on my own.
Okay.
You know, not following, you know, a lot of rules and regs and stuff.
Oh, come on. The cops don't have a lot of rules and regulations.
So I had to leave that. That wasn't me. That wasn't who I was. Even though that small part of the Superman part of me was within that, wanting to help people.
Sure. Yeah.
And it wasn't until later on that I discovered ways that I could help people to help themselves, which was much, much more powerful than just being Superman.
Right. Yeah. Did you learn that actually at the college or the school that you went to learn about hypnotherapy? I mean, what was that like? I mean,
that was actually a little bit later. I actually was doing coaching. I studied at SMI, which is Success Motivation Institute.
Okay.
On coaching.
And that Paul Myers?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And through Paul J. Meyer, among other people, like Earl Nightingale, and then a lot of people that I did associate with, you know, I learned to help people so they can really help themselves. And HMI, Hypnosis Motivation Institute, was just another tool that, you know, really enhanced my own training. And then NLP, becoming an NLP trainer. Not only you know, one becomes a practitioner, then a master practitioner, then a trainer. So going through all that, I was able to really, really develop myself and then along the way help a lot of people, which is a lot more fun.
Sure. Yeah. Well, tell me just a little bit more about HMI.
Yes, Hypnosis Motivation Institute, HMI.
What was it like going there, though? I mean, you know, like my calculus teacher, you know, put me to sleep accidentally. Yeah. Do you go there? Your teachers actually, you know, practice it while in the classes, or is it all book learning, or you know, how does it work?
There's both book learning and practice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of practice. You know, it's probably the only place where you're allowed to go to sleep.
Yeah.
In school.
So, but there's a lot of good practice. And then there's an internship. The first 6 months is basically all the book learning, the classes and everything. And the second 6 months of it is doing an internship where you actually start seeing clients and stuff.
Actually start seeing clients.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you got to be so good at what you do? You have a very background. You come from the military, you come from law enforcement with martial arts training, and you get into success coaching and hypnotism. I mean, did you have a mentor or mentors along the way?
Yes. I had lots of mentors. I mean, going all the way back to when I first started martial arts, and that was in Okinawa when I was 5 years old.
What style of martial arts did you study?
Yes.
What style?
Various styles. Ishin Ryu.
Okay.
And then also studied Shotokan. And then through my uncle in Japan, I studied also some like judo and stuff.
Well, you were getting it from the source then.
I was getting it from the source.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot of people. I know martial arts is becoming a much more popular practiced sport in the United States, at least over the last probably decade or so.
Yes.
And there's not a whole lot of instances where students actually get to train in Japan because it's a completely different way of training over there than it is in the leisure type training over here.
Well, the training over there, because it's a lot harder.
Sure.
People here would just totally drop out. They wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, my daughter became a black belt over here, and then she went over there to train, and she said the same thing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different way of doing it.
Yeah, and I got to start young there, and then I came here, and really at that time there wasn't very many places that taught any type of martial arts.
Okay.
And that wasn't until, I think, the 70s it started exploding and everything.
That's correct. And it's gotten more popular with Nobody Bothers Me commercials and gone up from there.
Yes.
You were talking about mentors, Bob. You started in martial arts?
I started in martial arts, and then through the years, there's always, those certain teachers as we grow up that really stand out. And I remember back in junior high, there was one teacher that stood out, not because this person was a good teacher, even though in fact he was, but because this person decided to go live his dream. And his dream was to be a professional ball player.
Really?
Yes.
What type of professional ball player?
Baseball.
Baseball, okay.
Mm-hmm. And he decided to leave teaching to go out there and pursue his dream. He was taking a risk, and that really showed me a lot. That this person had he was being comfortable as a teacher, but he had to become uncomfortable going out to really live his dream, despite what other people were saying, despite what his family said and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did, and that really stood out.
How did that make you feel when you realized he was doing that? If it's somebody that inspires you, how did that make you feel inside? Because you were still a young man at the time, yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was in the 8th grade at the time.
Okay. Still pretty young, looking forward to the future, getting ready to go into high school.
Mm-hmm.
You see a teacher that's going against the rules.
That's going against the rules. And I really applauded him for that. I think we're all taught to go with the rules. I know that my parents taught me that same thing, and a lot of people are taught that.
That's correct. A lot of people are taught that. That's the commonplace in society.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
There's
Bob,
some
I'm going
music
to
coming
have
up
to break you off a little bit. We're excited to get back with you, but this is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardro and the Inside Success Show, and we're sharing inside stories with a highly sought-after mind-body trainer, Bob Choat, author of Inspired Warrior, and he is just starting to give away some magical inside success secrets, so don't go away. We'll all be right back.
Hi, I'm Randy Gilbert, author of Success Bound, Breaking Free of Mediocrity. I've known the pain of mediocrity and of living a dull and unrewarding life, with no purpose and no prosperity. I was acting happy, but not being happy. The fear of failure was causing me to fail in life. Then I discovered the incredible power of proactive thinking. It was like finding the cure for cancer. Like a butterfly, my life was immediately transformed. I became Dr. Proactive. I'm speaking to you as a friend. Don't settle for mediocrity. You can do anything, be anybody, and have anything. Success Bound contains the secrets of how to live a proactive life. Type in Success Bound at Amazon.com and read how dozens of people just like you have been transformed by reading my book. Get Success Bound and you'll step into a whole new world of healing, prosperity, and joy.
Let's return to the path to triumph with the Inside Success Show.
Yeah, welcome back to the Inside Success Show. This is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardro, and we are speaking with Bob Choat, who is an expert in NLP training and is the author of The Inspired Warrior. If you have any questions that you would like us to ask Bob, please go to our website, theinsidesuccessshow.com, and send your questions to us right now.
Thanks, Randy. Bob, you gave us a real good insight on how you got started. You have a vast background in martial arts training, and you were with the LAPD for a few years, and you were in the Marines. That's a very strong background and then you made the switch to success coaching and hypnotism that you started back when you were 7 years old, way back when you were a kid, and followed it all the way up through to where you are now. You've become an expert in what you do, and you also are coaching and teaching about NLP. What in the world is NLP? What does it mean? It's not a new LP record. What is it?
Well, actually, NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and it was founded by two gentlemen, one named Richard Bandler and another one named John Grinder. And according to Richard Bandler, he says that NLP is an attitude and a methodology that leaves a trail of techniques. Now, here's another definition I like to use.
What's the layman's term?
Okay, basically NLP is a studying and modeling of excellence.
Okay.
Finding out how somebody is excellent in what they do and how you can actually model that and instill it into your own self.
Could you give me an example?
Well, a good example, I think actors tend to do it all the time.
Okay.
When they're researching a part. And they may interview several people, and they may take some of the personality or even the physical traits of the person and put it into their own acting so they can actually become the person.
Body language.
Body language is a big part of it.
Linguistics, the way they talk, the pauses that they have, things like that?
Yes, the way they think and everything.
Yeah, my daughter is studying to be an actress, and the one that is also a black belt in karate, and she said that she can actually improve herself in areas where she had never really had any success before just by studying people who are experts when she is doing her acting. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're talking about then, right?
Yes.
Wow.
We can also use that to excel in certain areas. I think Tony Robbins mentions it, where he used NLP in his book Unlimited Power.
Uh-huh.
And he mentions when he was studying martial arts, and he went to go find the best teacher that he could find and modeled that teacher, learning how that teacher did what he did from this teacher state, how the teacher thought, the physical modeling and everything, to instill it within his own self. And he, where they're normally taking it like 3 years to get his black belt, he got it in less than 1 year.
Wow. So it's a matter of training or finding somebody that is excelling or is the master or the top of where you want to go and what you want to be doing, and modeling what you do after what they're doing.
Sure, yes. Mm-hmm. If you want to become the best salesperson, you can actually take a lot from the best salespeople you could find, the top in their areas, and instill what they have into your own self.
Kind of like a mentor.
In a sense, it goes even beyond that.
How so?
You're actually absorbing what they have. There was a TV series that was on for a while and a couple of movies called The Highlander.
The Highlander.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's a little gruesome, but where he slices off the other immortal's head.
Correct.
And he absorbs everything what that immortal has into his own body.
Correct.
All the memories and all the feelings and everything.
Correct.
Okay. NLP can, in essence, be used the same way. You can actually absorb what that person has.
Without all the gruesome details.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. For instance, getting back to cells, there's other parts of NLP which is very important. If you can become like the other person and understand what they're feeling, you get into rapport, right?
Correct.
And once you get into rapport with a person, it's much easier to create a buyer out of it. And you're not just trying to sell them something. You're not trying to push them, but because you're in their model of the world.
And the sale almost happens by itself.
And you're understanding them.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the order, they give you the sale because you have the relationship and they want to do business with you.
Yes.
That's exactly correct.
Mm-hmm. So
NLP can actually enhance that and make it stronger.
Make it very strong. So you're able to read the person. And the basics of NLP is the modalities involved. And the modalities are 3 parts, actually even more than that. One is called visual, the other one is auditorial, and the third is kinesthetic. Then there's another part.
Right. Well, Bob, you're going to have to let people hang.
Okay.
It's a good way to let them hang. And we are going to be coming back real quickly. But this is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardro on the Inside Success Show, interviewing one of America's top NLP mind-body experts, Bob Choat, an author of The Inspired Warrior. If you got any questions, go to our website, theinsidesuccessshow.com, and send them to us right away. We'll be right back with you.
Hi, I'm Randy Gilbert, and I now make a large part of my living online. You know, people may have been created equal, but not web hosting services. When I discovered Feature Price, I was shocked, excited, and then amazed. No wonder Feature Price is rated #1 by TopHostReviews.com. Imagine saving hundreds of dollars with a click of a link. You can by typing in the InsideSuccessShow.com and clicking on the Feature Price logo.
Let's return to the path to triumph with the Inside Success Show.
Welcome back to the Inside Success Show. This is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardro, and we're speaking with Bob Choat, author of Inspired Warrior. And he is just beginning to really open up our minds and give us some great tips and strategies that we can use and that you can use to be successful.
Bob, the last segment we were talking a little bit about the details, got a little bit more in-depth on what neuro-linguistic programming was all about and how you can study somebody and actually mimic what they're doing, that somebody that's successful in the area you want to be successful in. And NLP, neuro-linguistic program, actually takes a step beyond what mentoring is about or what coaching is about, and gets a little bit deeper, gets you into the next level to help you as an individual become successful. And right before we went to break, you touched base on 3 key areas that we felt were important. Could you bring those up again and maybe just say a few words about them?
Yeah, I was talking about visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Basically, that's seeing, hearing, and feeling. We all have that. Some people tend to prefer one thing over another.
That's
I tend
correct.
to be more of a feeling person on the physical basis. Some people tend to be more visual, and some people tend to be more auditorial. You know, you can pretty much pick out those kind of people. Like artists, for instance, painters tend to be more visual in a sense, whereas sculptors, in terms of artists, tend to be more kinesthetic. They tend to use their body more.
And musicians, of course,
are very auditorial.
Yep,
correct.
Now, one of the things, if you understand the person that you're working with, or even your own rep system, what you tend to prefer, whether you're kinesthetic, auditorial, or visual, if you know where you're coming from, then you know how to adjust yourself and understand another person. But I think the most important thing, especially in the area of sales, is being able to understand yourself first. I think a lot of sales trainings tend to fall on that. And using NLP and understanding those modalities, one could be a more effective salesperson. So, for instance, I think, Randy, what do you think you are? A visual, auditory, or kinesthetic?
Well, I'm much more kinesthetic, I believe.
Okay.
I would much rather, if I were to be an artist, play with the clay and in the sand, and that's I would dig a hole, right?
And I would be watching Randy do that.
Oh no.
I'm more visual. I would definitely watch Randy do that, play in the sand.
Okay. So, if you understand yourself and where you're coming from, then you know that if you're dealing with somebody who is not like you, for instance, Randy, you're kinesthetic, and if you're dealing with a person who's primarily auditorial, who tends to listen more, then you can adjust to that person, but you have to understand yourself first. So certain words that you would say would be more focused to that person.
Okay.
Instead of saying, I have a sense of what you feel. Well, that wouldn't work with somebody auditorial.
Oh.
Whereas if you were to say, hear what you're saying. Now, see, those words are different, aren't they?
Correct.
Absolutely, yeah.
It allows
the
other person
to the person who's auditorial.
It allows the other person to relate a little better.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So you're getting more into their model, into their world. You're starting to develop rapport with them. So that's one of the basics, is that part on NLP. Now,
right.
There's other parts. I mentioned modeling. There's a thing called matching and mirroring. And when I say matching and mirroring, I don't mean, an exact copy,
sure.
of following a person.
Sure.
Let's say you're sitting in a sales presentation, just meeting a person for the first time,
mm-hmm.
a prospect. You observe that person. You observe how they sit, maybe how their body language is moving. And what you want to do is put yourself basically in the same position as they are, but not an exact duplicate of them.
Right.
You don't want to mock them in a sense.
Right.
But what you want to do is match and mirror what they're doing. If they're leaning forward, let's say you're at a table, then you're going to lean forward a little bit. You're not going to sit back.
Correct.
You're also going to match their language, how they're saying. If they're crossing their legs, you're going to do that. You're going to do it in a subtle way.
Bob?
Yes.
Is any of this in your upcoming book, The Inspired Warrior? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, it will be in a book.
Because I know our listeners are out there going, wow, this is good stuff. There's no way I can learn it all right now. What do I do? Or how do I get more about this? How do I learn more about NLP?
Well, it will also be in my book, The Inspired Warrior.
Okay.
Part of Unleashing Inspired Warrior is learning all these different techniques. So the NLP will be in there. I would also recommend reading Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power. I think that's a very, very good book.
There are bookstores everywhere.
NLP.
How can listeners get a hold of your book? It's not out yet, but it's due to come out very soon.
Yes. They can actually send me an email by emailing me at coach@hypnomindpower.com. That's hypnomindpower.com. They can also go to hypnomindpower.com. That's my website. If they want to call me, just to even talk, I can even do some NLP stuff over the phone, because I've done that too. They can call me at 818-620-2494.
Do you offer maybe a 10 or 15 minute free consultation, or can people?
I will do an initial consultation, 30 minutes to even 1 hour.
Okay, Bob, we've got a couple of email questions. Would it be okay if we took one?
Sure.
We got Casey from Tampa, Florida. She says, I really want to succeed and achieve the goals I've set for myself, but for some reason I'm just not reaching them. I don't have a lot of money right now. Is NLP something I can learn on my own? Can you answer that question?
Yes. Actually, NLP is something that you can learn on your own. A lot of people have spent a lot of money going through practitioner trainings and everything, but just reading Tony Robbins' book, Unlimited Power, will teach you a lot about NLP.
Okay. And we've got one more. Josh from Dallas, Texas. I've read a little bit about NLP, and I know a tiny bit about hypnosis. Do you think this is something that could actually be considered dangerous because of a God complex? What are your thoughts to that?
No, actually, NLP and hypnosis, because they're both related, is not dangerous.
Okay.
It's very, very safe. I know that certain people will tend to use it to thinking that they can, persuade people to do things that they really don't want to do. And as I said earlier, a person is not going to do something that they wouldn't have otherwise done.
Yeah, Bob, you're a certified hypnotherapist.
Yes.
Why is that important to you? Did you really feel it was necessary for your coaching?
To become certified as a hypnotherapist?
Yeah. Is certification something important? Like if someone were out there looking, for help, maybe in helping them to solve a problem or get over something they feel is holding them back, would being certified be something that people should look for?
I think what a person should look for is the quality in what they're getting out of the person. If you're going to look for somebody to really help you,
right?
Just like anything else, I would ask or get some testimonials from people that they've helped. I think that's very important. There's a lot of people that are certified out there, and there's a lot of certification bodies. So just because somebody says they're certified doesn't mean that they even had the best training available.
Okay.
I mean, I spent a year going through HMI.
But if someone's not certified, is it an indication that they don't know what they're doing? Or
No. Actually, before they even had certifications for hypnotists, there was a lot of great hypnotists.
Okay.
In the past.
What if I read a book and put out a little plank that says I was one, and even though I hadn't done it before?
No. That's you have to have some experience, even if you get certified.
Yeah. What kinds of questions did someone ask in order to see if someone really knows what they're talking about? What would you ask if you were someone that didn't know much?
Some of the things I would ask is, what kind of results have you gotten?
Okay.
I think that's very important.
I think that's huge.
Yes. So I want to know results. I want to know client satisfaction. I mean, to be satisfied.
Right. Okay. Well, Bob, we're gonna. You can hear the music. We're going to be going back to our a break.
Okay.
And, we're going to give you another chance when we come back to give us your website and phone number again and to finish answering some questions. But this is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardero and the Inside Success Show, and we're interviewing Bob Choat, author of Inspired Warrior. He's given us great secrets and passing it out like Halloween candy, which is coming up. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is Randy Gilbert, and I have an incredibly powerful inside success secret for you. Highly successful people share a common belief that they need the help and cooperation of others. That is why my friend Michael Angier created SuccessNet. SuccessNet is an information-packed online resource, and I have no hesitation in saying I just can't imagine living without it. Best of all, it's free. Join SuccessNet by typing in theinsidesuccessshow.com and then clicking on the SuccessNet logo.
Let's return to the path to triumph with the Inside Success Show.
Welcome back to the Inside Success Show. This is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardero, and we are speaking with Bob Choat. He's a hypnotist and a mind-body trainer, NLP, and he's also the author of Inspired Warrior. And we would like you, Bob, to go ahead and give us one more time the web address, maybe your email and phone number too.
Okay. My website is www.hypnomindpower.com, and that's spelling HYPNOMIND, POWER, then coach@hypnomindpower.com is my email, and my phone number is area code 818-620-2494.
And you are also a stage hypnotist.
Yes.
And you have a stage name. Can you give us just a little bit of what you do as far as a routine for anybody out there that books that kind of thing?
Okay. I'm known as Bobby Spade, the Ace Hypnotist. You can see, Spade and Ace.
Yeah, okay.
Now, my shows are different depending on the audience that I work with. If I'm working with mostly families, children, stuff like that, I will have a show just for that. Now, if I'm working like a Las Vegas kind of show, then it's going to be completely different. So I can work both kinds. And the kind of things I do, for example, I remember working with a group of very big men and then hypnotizing and making them believe that they were former Playboy playmates.
I'd have liked to have seen that.
All on their own, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's some of the fun kind of stuff that stage shows are. And like I said, these guys, they would have done it. I mean, it's not something that I had to convince them to do.
Right. It was in there somewhere.
Yeah, it was in there somewhere.
Waiting to come out.
Yeah. Well, Bob, NLP is a field that is relatively new and growing from what I can see. What is your prediction of what's going to be happening with NLP in the future and how it's going to be used, maybe in the next 2, 5, 10 years, maybe?
I think NLP is going to advance. I think there's going to be even changes within the area of NLP even more than what's already happened. I think there's going to be new strategies and new techniques are going to come in. And I think it's going to be incorporated even a lot more in the business world. And it's used a lot in the area of sales and motivation within business. I think it's going to be used within all aspects of business to help managers to be more effective, to help employees within companies to be more effective. I think it's going to be used a lot more in the area of performance, whether in sports, on stage, in other areas.
Okay. Is there any field that you think that it's not useful? I mean, it seems pretty wide used.
Yes, anywhere from personal relationships to the business world to just about anything.
So, I mean, you could even use it in, like, marriage counseling. Kids could use it for stress management in school and that kind of stuff.
Stress management, to getting rid of fears and phobias. In fact, there's a technique, which I do work with people, to get rid of a lifelong phobia in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. What about all the phobias? We live out here where we got the sniper shooting at us. What about all the phobias out here? Do you think that'd be useful for that?
Very effective for that, yes.
Wow.
Bob, let's talk about the future for Bob Choat. You're finishing up a book, The Inspired Warrior. It's coming out very soon. You've got a great training and coaching business. You're a stage speaker. What are your future plans? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 or 5 years?
Part of it, I'm in a process of developing what's called Quantum Training Institute, which is going to be in Arizona. Those speakers there for the listeners in Arizona. And it's actually going to be a combination of using NLP within that, but also I'm going to have like a week-long boot camp, which I have a business partner named William Horton, who's a master trainer in NLP, and he's a former trainer at the FBI Academy.
Wow.
And we're going to have some special forces guys also be part of that, so we have like a week-long boot camp for business people.
Okay. Is this going to be something that's ongoing throughout the year, or is this 1 week a year?
It'll be ongoing, yes.
Great. That sounds exciting.
So it'll be very intense, and I'll have both of you guys out there, too.
Oh,
I hope so.
That's fantastic.
So it'd be like going through boot camp again, Randy.
I can handle it.
Once again, I'll watch that part.
Oh, okay.
I'll just watch that part.
Okay. Bob, tell us a little bit more on some of the other things that you do with your therapy, just real quick. Someone out there, a listener, is just wondering, is it something that I, need to do? I do have some problems where I think I'm not successful, and maybe it's something I can't guess. Would someone in your kind of coaching background would you be helpful for a person who just doesn't know what's wrong?
In 30 seconds or less.
Yes. I help the person to find the passion in their life, because I think that's a key ingredient in order for a person to drive towards success. And I use NLP to unleash that passion.
That's huge.
Great answer. Yeah. Well, tell you what, we're coming down to the last few moments, and what we want to do is say thank you to you, Bob. You've been extremely generous with your time, and you've given us lots and lots of valuable tips and strategies, how we can use the NLP and our mind-body connection in modeling, get rid of problems, be more successful. And so on behalf of our listeners, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we hope to have you back again someday.
Yes.
And maybe after our training. This is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardro. We've had a wonderful time interviewing Bob Choat, and we are coming back to give you a recap and to tell you about next week. Don't go away. We'll be right back with you.
Design is a powerful tool in modern culture, and when properly utilized, it can truly reflect the personality and attitude of your company or product. EZ Designs has the expertise to take on integrated marketing, multimedia, and development projects from concept to completion, understanding that every account is unique. As an integrated shop, they first look at your personal marketing challenges and then produce the best creative mix to promote your service. EZ Designs understands that the art of creativity has changed dramatically over the past few years, so whether your needs include package design, scripting, and signage, signage, or direct mail, 3D animation, and online strategic planning, design should build brand awareness and influence customers' perception of your business. For more information on how to set your company apart from the competition, call 1-888-989-0015 or go to purecreativity.com. That's 1-888-989-0015 or go online to purecreativity.com. Easy designs, concepts, and strategies to enhance your image.
Let's return to the path to triumph with the Inside Success Show.
Welcome back to the Inside Success Show for our last segment. This is Randy Gilbert and Dan Ardro. We've been having a great time with Bob Choat. He's a hypnotist and a mind, body, and NLP trainer and author of The Inspired Warrior, which is going to be coming out soon. And it's something that I think everyone is going to probably learn more about in the future. NLP is certainly increasing, and it can be very useful, especially in the area of modeling. Not modeling like a beauty pageant or something like that, but modeling success, which is my area and Dan's, and what we want to be able to do for all our listeners is to help you be more successful. Dan, what's some of the things that he shared with us that you think you could use right away to be more successful?
I don't know, Randy. You talked about modeling. I think what he shared with us about the real big gentleman that he hypnotized on stage, made him act like a Playboy bunny. I think that would work good for you. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that what would happen for me is that I would not go under a trance.
When we started the show, before I talked to Bob, I had no idea what NLP was. I've heard of the mind-body thing. Really didn't put much faith in it because I've never experienced it. But talking to Bob and realizing what it involved and the modeling part of it anyway, modeling meaning looking at somebody that's successful and learning how they do things and what they do things and actually visually seeing how they do things, not so much over the phone, but here the person is and this is how they do it and these are their mannerisms, and you're modeling yourself, not exactly how they do it, but in a similar manner, the way they conduct business.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Bob used the example of an actor studying a character or studying for a role, and how somebody that doesn't have any experience at all as an actor comes in and models himself after a police officer, as an example, or if they're going to be a detective.
Yeah, I remember watching with the DVDs that they have now, you can watch how movies were made, and,
sure.
and watching how Tom Cruise was able to do the cliff jump in Mission Impossible 2, which always turned my stomach just watching him do that. But it was fascinating listening to the trainers and how quickly he was able to pick up things that they had spent years, 20 or 30 years, trying to perfect. And he was able to model them within just a matter of days to be very close to their level.
Well, Bob was saying that the future of NLP and using mind-body techniques for success in your life, regardless of what direction you're going in, I think is huge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we've got an exciting show coming up this next week too.
Who do we have?
And not quite the same as NLP, but just as important, I think. And of course, we're on every Wednesday, and who we have coming up is Bob Berg. He's the co-author of a brand new book called Gossip: 10 Pathways to Eliminate It from Your Life and Transform Your Soul. And Bob Berg says that he used to have a real problem with gossip, and his gossiping kept him literally chained to mediocrity, to not having any success in his life at all for the longest time, he said. And now he has lots of success, and he learned the inside success secret of how not to gossip. And so we got him coming up. So go to our website if you haven't already and sign up for our free newsletter that comes out to give you an update on the show and explore our superb resources of easy design, feature price, SuccessNet, Cash Evolution, and Web Marketing Magic. They're helping us to bring you the show, so you need to help them so we can help you. This is Randy Gilbert
and Dan Orgerow,
and we're bringing you Inside Success Show every Wednesday. We look forward to sharing with you again next week, so come on back. Until then, blue skies and rainbows to you all.
Tune in again next week for more down-to-earth information aimed at helping you achieve a more rewarding, proactive life with the Inside Success Show.